Yeah. So we're going to turn to Talkback now and a rant about our sports coverage.
Penn State lost. They're out of the top 25. The Phillies lost. The Yankees lost. The Eagles lost. Maybe Channel 16 will wake up and smell the coffee and realize that there is sports in western Pennsylvania west of State College. You know, like the Steelers, the Penguins, and the Pirates. Why don't you cover them sometime?
The Steelers, we do cover them pretty much.
You especially.
The Pirates, are they worth covering? The Penguins, I think because we have the baby Pens here, we cover the Pens too.
Agree.
And let's be real right now, the big story is Penn State.
The big story is Penn State.
And just quite a shocking series of events
so
that have
I'm
played
assuming Talkback today, we won't know until, of course, 5:55 this evening, but I'm assuming Talkback today will be all about Penn State.
Whoever is doing Talkback today, I imagine it'll be a whole sequence of fire Franklin,
right?
to then he was fired,
yes.
and then the opinions on that.
And now what? Where does the money come from? All of that.
And all of that, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But you think of Penn State, 2 weeks ago, they were #2 in the country, a huge game against Oregon that went to double overtime. And 2 weeks after that, 3 losses, the coach is fired, and the program's in turmoil.
And I was excited to talk to you this morning because you are, of course, a fan, and I wanted to know your opinions. I don't really care one way or the other, but I did want to know, like, if you were, what you were thinking, if you're happy about this. Kind of, I assume it's kind of bittersweet. You wanted it, but
bittersweet's a good word for
yeah.
it. So there's been people that have not liked James Franklin for a long time. I've kind of been a Penn State fan, and like, I'm willing to see what he does.
Yeah.
Especially a year like this. What's played out the last 3 weeks and what I saw on Saturday in that stadium, I don't know how he could have continued. With all the boos, all the fire Franklin, the team had no spunk. It had to come. But Allie comes into work this morning.
So I pride myself in having an outfit for everything.
Everything.
Every theme. If Joe comes up with a theme, I've got the coat for it. I've got the outfit for it. I just so happen to randomly own a Northwestern palm hat.
Which is so random that you have a Northwestern hat.
I do. So my husband's his cousin, it's his best friend in the entire world, his college roommate. We all went to Temple together. He, for a couple of years, worked at Northwestern. We went to visit him in Chicago. He knows how much I love my palm hats, and he's like, I've got to get you a Northwestern palm hat. And so this is that. We went to Chicago. This was probably from like 2018 or 2019. It was in my attic. I was like, last night, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go find that and bring it in. I love a theme.
Thanks for not wearing it on the air all morning, though. That may have been dumping salt into some wounds.
Yes, obviously, I'm not a Penn State fan, but I am sorry to see everything that's going on.
It's kind of a sad ending.
Yeah, it is.
On
and
a lot
I
of
am
ways.
sorry to see that, and for the players too, who of course we follow so closely. I don't want to see that for any of them.
Yeah. Now we're talking about the new friend in the backyard.
To the viewer that sent in the Frankenstein for the backyard, I'm sorry, that will not make it past Halloween because Snedeker will break it. He's already starting to pound on it. He threw the jacket on it. It wasn't even put together, and he was starting to abuse it.
Allie has a funny story about this because you saw us on Open It Up on Friday.
I was off on Friday, but I was following along on Facebook. I knew that he was there. I knew that you guys got him. Of course, I saw the box here get delivered here. So I walk in Saturday morning. It's 3 a.m. The lights aren't on in the backyard yet, and like where my desk is. So I'm like looking down. I put my bag on the desk, and I look up, and all I see is the window towards the back of the building into the backyard, and he is just staring directly at me. Freaked me out. He was like kind of glowing even though the lights were off. It's all I could see was just him.
And he's huge.
Huge. I knew he was taller than you from your post, but so much bigger than I expected. And I like that you called him our friend. He is our new friend.
He's a new friend.
Yes.
Another new thing here, one anchor's new look.
And I just noticed Rennie Workman's new hairstyle, and it's beautiful. She looks so becoming. Tell her it's stunning, and I love her clothes. She wears stunning clothes and jewelry. You do a great job, Rennie. Thank you.
That's the first time I'm seeing it.
Is
it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it suits her so perfectly.
And what a big difference, though.
It is a big difference.
And I think she was a little nervous about being on air with it for the first time because when you make a big change, everyone notices. But the responses that she's gotten have been awesome.
Beautiful.
So
I love it.
I'll make sure that she hears that call, ma'am, because she will be very excited.
All exciting.
Yeah.
Well, so how is your family feeling about this whole Penn State thing? Are you guys upset? Are you having trouble sleeping at night?
Are they all Penn State fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
Mom,
Rennie's family,
Dad,
my family,
oh.
everybody
Yes,
Penn State
everybody.
fans.
Whoa.
My mom went to Penn State. I've been going to games since I was 5 years old.
Yeah,
so
Rennie went to Penn State. Yeah.
She and her brother and sister, they all went to Penn State. So we watched the game with her parents, and by the end of the game, I knew Franklin had to go. And I was not a fire Franklin guy 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Because there were those people that have been around for years. That was not me. I thought, you know what? He has Penn State right there. If he could just take one step further.
Well, could you back up for me? How many years is this for him?
12.
It's 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been there a while.
So overall, was it good?
Overall, he did a lot to bring the program back. Because remember, there were some dark days
right
before he came.
Right.
That's 12 years ago already.
Even more than that since all that scandal. Whoa. But he just, it's amazing how things spiraled in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, everything spiraled. Penn State went from being number 2 in the country to the
Fired
bottom of the barrel.
And looking at what could have been maybe 6 losses in a row.
Yeah.
So we're talking about here, Talkback's talking about, I actually like that the Talkback calls and the two that aren't Penn Staters can talk about it because we all have a reaction to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's one of the calls.
So you did a story over the summer that Penn State was closing campuses because it didn't make financial sense or something. Then you just did a story that some schmo that's the coach of a stupid football team is going to get paid $50 million. How about Penn State do something better with the money than pay a coach to coach some stupid game?
Joe, is that you calling in? Sounded like you.
I have those thoughts. It's a catch-22. The more popular the football team is, then the more people that want to go to that university.
That's true.
There's a big part of that too.
Yeah.
So it just feeds itself. Even if it's a bad thing, it feeds everything.
And there's no question now, you see this college athletics, especially football, has become such a big business.
Well, especially now that players are allowed to have endorsements.
Players
Makes
can
such
make
a
money.
huge difference.
And now the coaches, I mean, you think of him getting $50 million to buy him out of his contract is just wild that it's that much money. And Penn State is in the process of putting $600 million into upgrading a stadium for 8 home games a year, 8 Saturdays.
Wow, I didn't realize there's only 8 home games a year. Wow.
No, they're going to have some concerts and some other things there too, but there's just so much money involved in this. And you see a business decision like this, what Penn State, I think, was concerned with, and the athletic director was saying yesterday, is that, okay, they lost 3 in a row. If they keep him and they go to Iowa and they lose, and then they go to Ohio State the next week and they lose, home against Indiana, who's really good, they lose 6 in a row. What are the fans going to do then?
Right.
Then you have people canceling their season tickets and all that kind of stuff.
I'd love to know the percentages of people in our area, here in WNEP land, who care or don't care or are angry at it. Like,
It would be great to be able to.
We got to do a poll like
There's
that.
no question from the data we have that Penn State is the dominant fan base in the viewing area. But the question is it 50%?
It's like
of the
half
viewing
of my friends, they're like fans, they go to the games, they talk about it, and the other half hate them for doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like half
So
and
it
half.
really is
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, the fact that it is so strong and so ubiquitous, I think, makes people hate it more. You know?
Yeah,
I think
that's just
a big part of
natural.
it.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people that are just loving this to see
Yes.
Penn State struggle.
I
Yes.
secretly am.
I'm sure.
Doesn't make me a bad
You're
person.
not really secretly because we kind of know.
All right, now we have another call about all this.
I'm calling about Penn State, and I know other people are going to be calling about Franklin. Best thing I think that ever happened up there. The guy's 4-21 against top 10 opponents since he's been there. He stinks. Penn State has an awesome team, loaded this year, loaded, and Franklin still couldn't win. So I think it's time he went, and I think it's the best thing that ever happened. Hooray.
You think?
Yeah,
True
that's
stat?
true. So,
That's true
so
stat.
that was some of the criticism going into this season, is that he's been great. He's brought Penn State to this almost elite level, but he has not won the big games.
4-21.
And so he had this big game against Oregon. It goes into double overtime, and they lose. So then that raised that whole world again of he can't win the big one. And then he lost to 0-4 UCLA. And then they were a 3-touchdown favorite against Northwestern. and lost.
So we can't even win the small ones now.
And that environment at the end of that game on Saturday,
Ooh, look at Mindy. He's getting all worked up.
I can't even imagine like having thousands of people boo you like
this
that.
is what I said to Mindy.
It happens all the time for me.
It does.
But imagine standing in the middle of a
Live?
stadium like James Franklin did on Saturday, and 100,000 people are booing, saying, "Fire Franklin," and you're standing in front of them.
Yeah.
See, every time we blow a snowstorm, we get the same thing.
You do.
So I know the pain and
You know
agony.
the pain?
Yes.
But you're not going to get paid $50 million if you lose your job.
No, that's true.
Luckily, I still have it, even when I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
I heard Mindy on the phone yesterday, and I thought I was daydreaming. She said, I don't know who she was talking to, but she was on her cell phone. She goes, yeah, and I want to match the orange ottoman. And then the call ended, and here we are today.
And here
So
we are.
It worked.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
You got the perfect match.
I've got goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this officially, how small does an ottoman get when it's still an ottoman? Because this is now borderline, like...
Well, I mean, it's an individual ottoman. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, what if we're half that size? Is it still an ottoman, or is now like a little stump or a stool?
Where do you come up with this stuff? Just like, why are we asking these questions?
I'm sorry. All right, welcome to A Great Day to Be Alive. We have a Frankenstein in the backyard that is now renamed Kalkenstein. So this is how I'm going to start off. A quick look at your weather forecast. Mindy's going to give you 4 overlapping characteristics that they both have. Here we go.
They have broad shoulders.
Broad shoulders.
Square jaw.
Square jaw.
A very solemn face.
Solemn face. Yep.
And
how about height?
Oh, and very
Yeah, they're
tall.
both like 6'4". John, would you say?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Are you taller than Colton?
I'm
right?
taller
Oh,
than
yeah,
Jack.
he's way taller.
But Jack's a bigger guy than me.
Yeah, and Jack will be coming in the backyard in the next week or so, and he's going to do the jacket try-on and calisthenics with his new twin.
Does he know he's coming in?
Kalkenstein. Does he know he's coming in? Yes, he does. All right. So here's the deal. Yesterday, check it out, folks. Do we have a new ottoman? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my.
Interesting.
Why the switch? Mindy no longer
But
matches
now I don't match anymore. Oh, man.
These were high temperatures yesterday. We did a switch. Wait till you see that.
What do you mean if your bike is fixed? You have 12 others.
Yeah, but there's my favorite, Mindy, and I need this one.
Don't you think the other bikes feel like you're not liking them because
Inanimate
of that?
objects do not have feelings or
They
emotion.
might feel bad.
Here's the new ottoman. Now,
Yeah,
what do you think about
what the
See,
heck?
now it's not an ottoman. Now it's a table.
Oh,
Oh, you're right. That's
that
more
true?
of a table than an auto.
It's a
Yeah.
table.
You're
This
not-
is a table, not
You're
an
not
ottoman.
supposed to put your feet
You're
on
no,
that.
you're supposed to put your cocktails and cheese on
and
this.
it's all because of the fabric.
And your charcuterie.
Yeah.
What if this were plush? Then it's an ottoman
Then it's an
again?
ottoman.
Then it's an ottoman.
These human constructs are blowing
Yeah.
my mind.
I think
crazy.
we'd rather the ottoman.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Probably.
You
It's
can't
all-
put if you put your feet on this, it's rude.
Watch this stuff.
Oh, you can roll right away.
Oh, that could be fun.
That's not stopping.
That's going to run into something important. Watch out for that camera
John, you
over
better
there.
do your franchise picture. I have to go save that thing.
That
Listen.
post.
It just ran into a camera.
Oh, and it's coming back now.
Oh my gosh. So John, tell us about your
Oh yeah,
OTR.
so it's Wednesday. So
Yes.
on the Pennsylvania Road. So I went to the Bloomsburg area. It really is
really
rolling
is
back
It really
to
is
back.
coming back, yeah.
This guy and his brother and his wife, because she's married into this, they collect Hudsons. So take a look at the video. This is
No, wait, come back to us quick.
Come back to us really fast.
all right. We're gonna pause on the video and we're coming
Because-
back because
I just rolled back here.
this could go on all morning and it'd probably be entertaining.
So begin your piece again.
Yes.
It's all good. Here we
Yeah, so Bloomsburg Hudson collection. So Hudsons were a big deal. Starting in the early 1900s till 1955, they were making Hudsons. So these brothers have collected them, and they have a bunch of them in their garage in the Bloomsburg area. They're beautiful, they're restored, they all run, and it's tonight's on the Pennsylvania Road, 6 o'clock tonight. You get to see that and hear from him. Pretty awesome stuff. And wait till you hear how much he paid for them. That makes it sound like, oh my gosh, he paid big bucks.
So
didn't.
those numbers you threw out, to me, it's a very popular. I'm a car guy.
Yeah.
And I remember hearing about the Hudson all the
Hudsons,
time. And
yes.
it's only how long?
It was one of the early cars, so early 1900s until the mid-50s.
So I thought you said 30s to 50s.
No, early 1900s till
Through the
mid-50s.
50s. So yeah.
That's amazing.
When you think about shows like Happy Days.
Did you get a ride in one, or did they refuse
I did get a ride.
to put
I got to
mileage?
sit in one. No, they go to these
Car shows?
meetups and stuff. They've driven it to Atlanta, to Boston.
Wow, I would think they wouldn't want to put any miles on
Denver.
it.
I know, yeah.
They've driven them all over the country.
Are they
that's
big
cool.
8-cylinders, MPGs? Do you have any numbers?
Mostly 6.
Why do you
mostly
have to
six.
have the car guy questions?
Well, it's a car
But
piece.
then they raced them too.
I just noticed in that image, you see Jack Culkin there?
Was he in there?
Yeah, he was
He was in there
'cause
wearing the gray.
He was so propped up because he's such a tall, prominent dude. He sticks out in a good way, and he was visible there. And we're going to talk about Jack Culkin.
Yeah, we're going to talk about his broad shoulders.
Where do we begin? So
Where do we
We
begin?
took this picture yesterday. Check it out. So Jack loves the new idea with the Culkenstein. So we had this Frankenstein, and now we needed a name for it. We went with a little bit of Francois. I kind of liked it, but then our newsroom said, how about this? So check it out. There we all are posing with Frankenstein, but we're now going to call it, because you can't deny the uncanny resemblance. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Mindy, we were talking
They're
about this
twins.
earlier. Look at John. He's doing a poor job at Frankenstein. Look at you. You're doing a
yeah,
horrible job.
I-
Look at me. Gross.
Yeah.
But look at Jack.
Just like him.
And I'm a big guy like this Frankenstein, but I don't have the structure.
To cat, like how did he capture
Even the
eye,
facial expression?
everything about it?
The gray shirt.
It just,
He's even wearing black pants.
he even has the mindset of just coming to life. So I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to go to Talkback, of course, and a call about Culkenstein.
Hey, Joe. Tell Bonnie she's absolute genius. That Kulkenstein gig is awesome. But you could add a little something to that. You could make him vintage Kulkenstein and put a mustache on him. That would look great.
I love how the guy's so naturally happy. That's great.
And I love how he's like vintage Culkin.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was 2 months ago or whatever, the mustache.
Right. And he had the mustache for like a year or so.
You were talking to him yesterday. He said he might grow something back in the...
Something's coming.
Something's...
I thought he was going to do it for Halloween.
No.
What do you mean by something's coming?
Remember No Shave November is a thing, I guess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's thinking of that. So there's going to be a return of something.
A return of the
He's saying
stash.
something.
Which
Is it a
I don't know
mustache?
if he's just going to do the mustache, if he's going to do more. But
Beard?
have we hinted to what the next pointer's going to be?
Yes,
'Cause
he
he
should
can-
do it for Harry
he could be
fall
Holidays.
into
Harry
that, too.
Holidays.
Yeah.
What if he grows a full beard?
That would be awesome.
I said yesterday, I think it's the year of Jack Culkin. He was the summer of the stash. Now he's Culkenstein.
It's the year of
Culkenstein,
Jack.
Sorry.
Yep.
Even as the year is winding down, he still gets the year?
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah. Pretty
I don't have a problem
impressive.
with that. I don't
Here's
have a
another
problem
call
with
about a monster power struggle in the backyard.
Just want to let you know that the Francois or Frankenstein or Kulkenstein or whoever he is turned off by the time the new news is on. So, you know, blaming Anthony isn't right, because it certainly isn't him unplugging it, because he isn't there by the time that thing gets unplugged. So it's somebody between the morning crew and between the afternoon that is unplugging your monster. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am, for helping us solve this mystery. She's been watching closely.
And our viewers do watch things very closely.
Yes,
but
yes.
we have gotten to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's Kurt Aaron. So every day he comes out right before the noon forecast, he vigorously unplugs it and stoically walks back inside.
Now,
so
how
it's
do you
like
know
a man with
this?
a purpose.
How do you know this?
So we have an observer. We have a witness to this crime every day happening. And I'm going to not mention who it is.
Oh, of course not.
But
I thought she was going into the witness protection
has to.
program.
they are going to be protected, and they did disclose this. So what I did today is I set a trap. So the trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's been set. Make sure you watch at noon, and you'll see what I mean. We'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, now I'm going to watch it noon,
Yeah,
too. I
me
want to
too.
see what's
What I love
happening.
about it, this place, and those of you now that are part of our streaming audience, you get to be in on it too, because I think there's some people watching now that probably aren't up early and didn't used to be part of all
Right,
this stuff.
right.
We do things here in the morning, and the people come into work at 9:30, 10 o'clock. They don't necessarily watch the morning show. They have no idea what has been
we've been
set up,
doing.
what's happened. They just see little hints of it in the backyard.
Yep.
Which is pretty funny.
Kurt has no idea this is coming because I'm sure he's not watching.
No.
this.
Right, he works till 11:30
Yeah, so
midnight, so he's not
he has
watching.
no idea.
Yeah,
And
It's
we
a
love
trap.
it.
yeah.
a
Oh no,
trap.
wait, he doesn't work that late anymore. I'm
Not anymore,
sorry,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
He's
But
still
it's not
awake
Anthony.
sleeping.
We're
Yeah.
we're clearing Anthony.
It's not Anthony.
It's not Anthony.
Yes, he has been exonerated.
Yes.
Do we have a signed affidavit from this eyewitness?
I do not.
Maybe that's the next.
Mindy will work on that.
That's the next step.
That's a good point. Can
Yeah.
we trust them?
Right.
Oh, we can trust them.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Odd.
I tell
mean,
ya.
he went to Ireland to see a Steelers game. Now he's taking
that
work
weird?
off. There's a pattern here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
weird.
is he addicted to football?
It's
or-
weird.
It's very strange. Yeah. But he turned his heat on finally.
He did.
He
Yes.
I did too.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I did it like
Were you holding
over
out?
a week ago.
I was holding out.
Oh, wait a minute. This is a top
Nikki.
story.
Yeah, we didn't know you
So
were
whoa,
holding
whoa,
out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Until when?
Well, until earlier this week. I think
Okay.
I turned it on yesterday as well.
Yeah.
We can't. Do you turn on and then turn off?
Yeah.
Usually when it's on, it's on.
It's on.
It's like the
No.
genie's out of the bottle.
Well, then, because then I got hot after I turned it on.
Okay, yeah.
I turned it on a few days ago, and then I got hot, so I turned it off again. I don't know. I'm weird with temperature.
See, for you have an apartment though, right?
Yeah.
That's why. So you turning on and off is just an adjustment on the thermostat.
Yeah.
See, for me, as a homeowner, I have to go in the basement. I crank this big gas valve
I
counterclockwise.
thought you had to shovel coal.
I
right?
used to. Then the pilot light. Tick, 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 tick. Then I turn all these breakers on because I shut everything down.
Yeah, we do too.
So it's like a big moment for me. It's not just going up to the
Yeah.
thermostat. It's all these things, and then when it's on, it's on.
There was one year my husband was out of town and I had to turn the pilot light back on.
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with him. I'm laying on the floor of the
man.
basement. I'm like, what do I hit? What do I click? And plus, it scares the heck out of me to deal with natural gas.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, are you sure I'm doing it right?
Oh, that's stressful.
But,
See,
yeah,
Nikki, it's
but I
not
had to
easy
do
being
it.
a homeowner.
I had to do it
Yeah.
because I needed the heat. But
So when it's on, it's a big deal. All right, let me show you this. Yesterday, I took my geology students out to the cemetery. I don't want to say which one because I don't know. Should I?
it doesn't really matter, does it?
Good.
I want to respect the rights of all those maybe who have loved ones there, but we give them respect and we look at the rocks that are displayed.
You're not being disrespectful.
No, but we look
No.
at the rocks displayed in the headstones. So it's
Yeah.
really an important thing. Certain minerals you can't see anywhere else but a cemetery. So there's my class at Marywood. But something amazing happened. This morning we showed it, and I
Yes.
think we're
Have
going
you
to show it
seen
now.
this yet?
No.
Oh, so
my
we're
gosh.
gonna-
I cannot wait.
This
It's
is
good. It's good.
So
yeah.
we get a present from a viewer. It's Frankenstein, probably
Right.
$200-300.
Yeah.
I plug it in every day. We named it Kulkenstein. It's fun. The arms move. Oh,
I'm alive.
I'm alive. And then someone shuts it off on us every day.
Every day.
And then I have to re-plug this thing in. Who is this curmudgeon that ruins our Halloween vibe?
Like a Franken-Scrooge.
Jail.
Nikki, watch the compelling video.
Watch the video. You'll see.
There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
Whoa.
There's no question, right?
There he is unplugging it. And
Aggressively.
See the sign I put up? It says do not unplug. Look at
He's reading. What?
He's taking it
But
down.
watch, look at how he fusses over the jacket. Look at that. Look at the.
Isn't that nice
I mean,
how
he's
he
making
fusses?
it look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he took the sign off.
So here's
Yeah.
another angle. So we do have video.
We have surveillance from many angles. A lot
Look
of
at so
security.
he can see he's alive, right? Look at he's moving.
Yeah, he's moving.
And then there it is.
He moves the cat.
Look at how.
Wow.
Yeah. Just digs right in,
Not happy.
takes the plug off, and poor Kulkenstein is dead to the world.
It's almost like when my father found cigarettes under my pillow when I was 15 years old.
Did that really
That
happen?
same aggressiveness right there.
He didn't even try to conceal his identity.
No, he didn't wear a mask.
and look,
nothing.
Reading the
What's
sign.
he reading the sign there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Then just ripping it off.
Ripping it off.
Oh, yeah.
Did he crumble it up?
Let's see if he equally fusses over the jacket now.
Well, I think this is the same exact thing, and just from a different.
Oh, is it? I thought
Yeah.
it was a whole different scene. Yeah, look at- watch.
Wow.
He does take care.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He crumbled it
up the sign.
So
Yes.
Are you going to have a confrontation?
no, I'm very passive aggressive. Okay. What I'm going to do is say nothing, but then slash all of Kurt's tires.
Well, that's one way to handle it. No, but in reality, you did actually ask him.
I texted him yesterday. I said we're going to have fun with this. He claims, Nikki, that it scares his dogs. So I'll.
So you can see that, right?
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of dogs do not like Halloween
No.
decorations.
So that's why he does it.
Ranger and Rocco are freaked.
They're freaked out. So it's understandable.
I get it.
Poor
whatever.
Kulkenstein.
Yep.
Now we're going to turn to Talkback and a comment about Kulkenstein's accessories.
Oh.
Joe Snedeker, please
take those silly pom-poms off of Francois. The backyard looks so nice and festive, and you always have to stick your 2 cents worth into everything. And stop bullying him.
Stop what?
Stop bullying him.
Bullying Frankenstein?
Yes.
Wow, here's a new level. I didn't know you can bully an inanimate object. This is news
he's
to me.
animate because he moves around.
Oh, yes, I guess you're right.
I like the pom-poms.
Yeah.
I think it works.
They give him sort of a happy look, right?
Was he doing the Long Ranger?
Yes.
Yeah, he did do the Long
She's
Ranger.
only seeing part of the story. It's taken out of context.
Right, exactly.
Perfect.
Oh, my goodness.
That's good.
Well, another caller wants to know if Jack has a famous actor in the family.
Huh.
I'm calling in regards to Jack Culkin. He's doing a great job for WNEP. Was he related to the child actor Macaulay Culkin, the main star of Home Alone? Yes, he's just doing a great job.
Is he related because Macaulay Culkin and Jack Culkin?
They have the same last name. Yeah, they could be related.
They could be.
Yeah, we should ask, right?
I mean, both in TV,
They're
show
both
business.
handsome,
right?
Yeah.
talented.
Handsome young men. Although Macaulay Culkin, I think, is crazy at this point,
Yeah, didn't he go through a weird stage?
Yeah, he
I
went
think
through
he's
a weird...
normal again, though.
I don't know. I'm not
Remember,
sure about that.
the only child star that turned out normal is Ron Howard. Okay,
Oh,
no
you're
one
right.
else. So get that straight right now.
That's
Everyone
so
else,
true. Oh my
it's a nose
gosh,
dive.
how did Ron Howard stay
Yeah.
normal?
He did.
Maybe because
Everyone
he
else.
went into directing
I
and
don't know
didn't
what it
stay
is.
with
He's
acting?
the only normal one that made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And you too can call Talkback 16 at 1-800-228-WNEP.
And maybe next week we'll give you a little feedback.